Today we are having a look at Jeremy John Irons at the request of a viewer, so thank you, and we will credit you in the description box below. Jeremy Irons, born September 19th, 1948, is an English actor and activist. After receiving classical training at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School, Irons began his acting career on stage in 1969 and has appeared in many West End theatre productions.
Okay, ready?
Yes, I am.
3, 2, 1, go.
When I'm in balance, it's normally when I'm in my garden or with my dog or with my family, with just a few people. Happiness comes at you like a scent, unexpectedly. I remember landing after a long time in America in my garden about 6 o'clock in the morning. I caught an early flight which landed very early. And the house wasn't awake yet, and I knew my family were in the house, and I was wandering through the garden, and the dew was still out on the roses and on the grass, and the smells were wonderful as the sun began to creep through the garden.
Yes,
I thought,
you keep saying that the ENFJ is the truth thespian, and this is showing it right here.
Yes, it's not ESFP, it's the ENFJ.
The ENFJ drama.
Yeah.
The flair for the dramatic.
This is very particular, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's got the words to go with it, probably due to his extensive theatrical training. I mean, he's got the theater training, which, you know, a lot of actors and actresses, they don't have that. But he's got this formalized training, right, where he's been taught to value the written word and to really bring it to life. And you could just see that. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, like the gestures and like the way he's like talking about the smells and the walking through the garden and the way he's just like, you just tell he's a very feeling kind of being.
F-E-S-E.
Let's go again. 3, 2, 1, go.
it doesn't get better than this.
Guilty pleasure.
Oh, my smoking, I suppose.
Last great book you read.
I'm so bad at remembering names of books.
Wrong time.
I'm really great.
You don't have to remember.
No, I forgot.
It's not a quiz.
It's not, that's right.
No
prize at the end of this.
What?
No prize?
No what?
Prize.
My love.
Your love.
My love.
A place you've never been to you'd most like to go.
Well, I've never been to Africa.
Despite all the National Geographic stuff.
No, never been there. I've been asked. I've been to South Africa and I've been to southern Morocco, but never the bit in between. So I'd like to do that.
First play you saw?
First play I saw. I think it was a musical. I think it was by Julian Slade. And I think it was, or was it My Fair Lady? No, I think it was a musical called Follow That Girl. We used to go, I lived in the Isle of Wight, and Dad used to take us to London for sort of Christmas treats normally, and we go and see a musical. And I think My Fair Lady or Follow That Girl was...
Secret talent.
My secret talent? Well, I'm very, very good on a comb with toilet paper. I can do good sounds.
You know, we could bring back My Fair Lady and you could star.
I'd love to. As I said,
sing it.
I don't have regret. Well, I've done it. I recorded it with Kira Kanawha, which I think you can find online, with a wonderful cast. Warren Mitchell, John Gielgud, Kira Kanawha, me. We recorded it with the London Philharmonic, I think.
Why can't a woman?
Why can't a woman be more like a man? Yeah, so that's out there. I would have loved to have done that show. I think I'm too old now, you know. He should be about 35.
Really?
Well, he should be. Rex played him older, but...
What frightens you the most?
Not challenging, not being challenged.
A character you most enjoyed playing.
Okay.
Just a little thing I've noticed. You've mentioned this several times in our videos, but I think high FE, low TI tends to, intuitives, I should say, high FE, low TI intuitive people seem to have a gift of buying time to answer questions. So in his case, he is repeating the question to allow himself time to think. Even just a few split seconds are important when you're trying to come up with an answer. And I recognize this as a tactic that I will use as well, repeating a question back to somebody.
He also uses his charisma to sort of buy time, and I don't know, everything about the guy is FE. He's so intense. in his face and the things he does, his gestures. He's very, very expressive. He's an FE dominant. You can tell. He's just full of feeling, and then he has this intuitive sort of spin with it as well. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I loved playing Richard II when I played him on stage. I loved playing, what's his name in The Real Thing in the Tom Stoppard play?
Oh,
Henry.
yeah. That's a good
with Glenn Close, yeah.
Historic figure you wish you'd met.
Well, I'd miss a historic figure. I'd like to talk seriously to Jesus.
Like, were you the son? Do you think you were the son?
Don't care about that. Just, you know, what are your hopes for the future?
What do you make of what we've done with the planet?
Yeah.
What talent do you most envy in others?
I'd love to be able to play piano. I play a little bit, but not well. I think mimicry. I'd love to be a good mimic. Kevin Spacey, for example.
Oh,
fantastic mimic.
Bobby Darin, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Who would you trade places with for a day?
Don't know him.
Hillary.
What makes you cry?
Something that just gets to me, and it can be other people. Truth. It's truth, true emotion.
You believe in extraterrestrial life?
I believe there is more twixt heaven and earth than is dreamt of in our philosophies.
And finally, if you could go back in time and give advice to your teenage self, what would you say to you?
Take a little bit more care of your friends.
You notice the backwards thinking that I always talk about? When he asked him, oh, see now,
I never really do, to be honest.
Yeah, he said something about, see, look at me. I can't even remember the question. It was about something about what makes you cry. Was that the question?
Yes, right.
So the question was, what makes you cry? And he had to work backwards till he finally said true emotion.
Right.
Like, he couldn't answer it. Yeah, he had to work backwards. He put something out there.
Like, he sort of needs to put his spade into the earth to... Right. Before he can grasp what he really thinks.
So he put an answer out there, and it wasn't quite what he wanted. And then he put that answer out there, and then he had to dig deeper and then note this. And then finally he got to the answer, which was sort of true emotion.
Like a self-prompting.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of relate to this a bit, because I don't know, I can sort of do this with my TE and NI. I suppose he's doing it with his FE and I. Mm-hmm. Because, like, I often don't know what I'm going to say. And I'm sort of reaching, and I'm prompting myself as I go.
Right.
That's definitely something I do.
Also, it was interesting when he said, what would you tell your future self, I think, or something like that. And he said, take better care of my friends.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Yeah. There seems to be a commonality between the ENFJ and the ESTP, where they sort of cross in their manifestations a bit. Mm-hmm. It's like a kind of very neglectful, sort of selfish kind of FE that sometimes they have.
Right. I think I think it's what makes them brilliant with crowds of people. You kind of have to be like that in a way in order to work with a big group of people or to affect change in that way with a big group of people.
Yeah, I suppose both types do that to an extent. Right. Yeah. The ESTP sort of fulfills that leadership position in the same sort of way, but in like the opposite realm, in the sensory realm, you know, like think of like a chef, like Gordon Ramsay. Oops, spoiler, we haven't done him yet.
But I have noticed this with the ENFJs in my life. I know I read this a long time ago, and it does kind of fit. It's like the closer you get to them, the
more you want to run away. I don't know.
Yeah, it was something about that. And it is kind of true because like they're so charismatic with a large group of people, but then when they have like a little in their inner circle, sometimes they can be really difficult.
Yeah,
so,
it's really funny.
And he knows that, right? That's why he said, take better care of my friends.
Yeah, I think people misjudge Effie and they say,
I know.
Oh, Effie seeks harmony,
So
blah, 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 blah.
Right, exactly.
And it's like, no mate, when Effie's not happy, you see it. Trust me.
Yeah, and it can be nasty. Definitely. Yes. Yeah. It can be every bit as nasty as FI. It doesn't matter.
I mean, feeling is feeling predominantly, and you need to realise that if someone doesn't feel good, if someone's angry, they're not angry in it, they're not
right. They're going to
harmonious in it.
Right, that's right.
And FE is the extroverted feeling, obviously, so it can be a lot worse than the FI at times, just because it can't help itself.
Right. It's that overflow, right?
Right.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell.
Remember, each video is not a comprehensive analysis. If you want to know more about a specific psychological type, check out the playlists, where we have unique takes for each person.
Here are some suggested playlists for you to watch or other relevant videos.